204 persons killed in 53 villages in Mango as Plateau State government imposes curfew over killings. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Gani Kaide Balogun. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. For staying with us, let's start by celebrating one of our own who became a chief at the weekend, the Olubuji of Ibuji Kingdom in Ondo State, that's southwest Nigeria. Oba Folagbade Ojo has installed the senior special assistant to Ekiti State Governor on special duties, Olufemi Joshua Adoluju, popularly known as Oja, also Agbakin of the town. The royal father said he decided to honor the Ado Ekiti born broadcaster with the Agbakin title due to the act of bravery seen in him. The Agbakin thanked the Obaluju for the honor and promised to contribute to the development of the Ibuji Kingdom and humanity in general. So we say congratulations to the one we refer to as Ojawon. Jide?
Yes, big congratulations to him. As the traditional ruler said, is someone lucky to be alive after a terrible accident that he had a couple of years ago. He is still alive and kicking. So, and it has pleased God to let him witness this honor. So we say big congratulations to Oja. Who is the special advisor to the Ekiti governor on special duties. It's one of our own. We remain proud of him.
So we say congratulations to Oja one, that our brother Chief Adiluju now. Chief Adiluju is proper to say Chief Adiluju. Let us also pay tribute to a woman of courage, perseverance and substance, one of the victims of the Kaduna train attack and abduction on the 28th of March 2022. Ajia Alima Atta is dead. She died peacefully at home on Wednesday. Hajia Alima was born on the 15th of October 1937 and was married to a former permanent secretary in the old Kaduna state, late Halaji Yusuf Alabura Atta, an elder brother to the Oinoyi of Ibira land in Kogi State. Ado Ibrahim and the former Inspector General of Police Aliyu Atta, among others. Despite the harrowing experience she suffered in the hands of bandits, Ajia Alima was not sick before her death, as she was said to have visited a sick niece of her husband. She has been buried at the Tuduwada Cemetery in Kaduna State. Julie, may a gentle soul rest in peace.
Yes.
This was the oldest woman among those guys abducted that we kept shouting that time.
Yes, in fact, I didn't imagine that she could go through all that.
Survive that harrowing experience.
They made them to trek for this before they settled.
Wicked people.
The final place where they were kept, and they were left to the elements. It was raining. It rained on them because they were abducted in March 28th, my birthday, and they were there for many months. It was raining on them. They were
sleeping well. They couldn't have eaten.
They didn't have good sleep. They were, and in spite of all that,
flogging them,
this woman at that age survived it all. In fact, when they wanted to, she was insisting that they should release the rest of them. At the time when they came to free her, she was saying, how about others? She was still concerned about others. So for a woman that's wrong, who went through all that trekking and all that, to have survived the trauma, the harrowing experiences that they went through, and not die at that time, only to die just some days back. I felt it was like a miracle. But God is the giver and taker of life.
Yes.
So God chose his own time.
At any time.
Yes.
That it pleases
You
him.
can see that she was the former military administrator of Kwara State, Dasu Umar. She was even sitting beside him in one of those pictures. His children are illustrious children, you know, professors,
Former IGP.
educationists. You know, she raised her children the proper way, and you will see his son is the Waziri of Ibraland, for example.
Oh, you know it.
The Waziri is the husband related to the Oinoi, the current Oinoi, you know, and related to Aliu Atta, the former IG.
Yes.
So she comes from a distinguished family, and that's Umar sitting beside her, you know. We pray that God will console the family. In his own way. No one deserves to go through that kind of experience at such an advanced age.
GKB, they say it's Allah that gives life and take life, but the harrowing traumatic experience that this woman went through at the age of 86, I wouldn't be surprised if that trauma still haunted her till she died. She would have stayed some years more, because how will you put a 86-year-old woman through that kind of horrific experience?
Yes, we have to understand that only Allah has answer to everything. There's a saying in Yoruba that those who will outlive a war will not die in that war. And this is what really applies to this old woman. Because if you are not destined to die during a particular turbulence, nothing will happen. You may not get home and die the next day, but you will not die during that particular problem that you are going through.
Scientifically, the scientists will tell you that she's still traumatized.
In some other countries, I don't know about Nigeria, because I've not gone through it, but normally a woman like this will have to go through counseling for a long time because of the trauma she went through. Like I said, I don't know about our country, so I cannot speak with authority whether we have the facilities or not. But in some other countries, I know a woman of this, even everybody that came out of that train,
yes,
we go through months.
We don't even know the level of support that government gets.
Yes.
We don't know.
Are you sure? Government that couldn't free them.
They were made to pay 100
million. So the government did not support them that time.
Who could not pay? The ones who could not pay that.
Yes, these are the last batch.
His sons, like Dr. Abdul Malik Atta, the Waziri of Ibraland, Dr. Adam Atta, Principal Lecturer at Cat Poly, Yusuf Atta, a journalist with Radio Nigeria, and the professor from ABU, I think chemical engineering, the one who was spokesman for the families of yes, he's also one of the sons of.
She married into an illustrious family. I know that family very well. I know some of their children.
Very successful.
The first family of Ibraland, at least for the last 30 years.
We pray that the Almighty Allah will grant the family the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. And Jannah Fidaus. Okay. All right. The banditry ravaging some parts of northern Nigeria continues to defy solutions. Negotiations as a very way of ending the scourge has been on the cards. A renewed Islamic scholar, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, has given conditions to dialogue with the bandits. The Kaduna-based scholar volunteered to negotiate with the bandits if President Bola Tinubu asks him to do so. Julie, looking at this issue now, I think it will soon be the end of honeymoon for this administration if by 6 months we are not able to define, in spite of changing the security architecture and everything, what we want to do. People cannot continue to die and Nigerians will hold this administration to account. That
Of course.
accountable. That's what are we doing?
We have changed service.
The primary responsibility of government is to
Secure.
secure life.
We have changed service chiefs, but I'm not sure we have changed the security architecture. Changing service chiefs is not synonymous with changing the security architecture. It involves a lot more than that. And this administration has to really sit down and prioritize the security of our people. Otherwise, whatever big changes Ashwaju causes to happen, whatever direction he tries to steer us through as a nation, if he does not get his hand on the security situation of our country, the fate of our people and the president will start fading. And journalists will begin to take pot shot at him because his predecessor was similarly criticized for his inability to handle the security problems. Gumi has talked about his preparedness to get involved with negotiation with bandits if the president invites him to help. I pray that the president will not have any reason to invite him with the purpose of negotiating with bandits. It's an absolute waste of time to attempt to negotiate with these bandits. The experience is there for the president to draw from because Right Honorable Aminu Masari, Middle Past Governor of Kaduna State, gave amnesty to bandits on 2 different occasions. In 2017, he gave amnesty to bandits. He followed that up by even having an interface with the bandits directly. Dangote, the bandit who controls the Jibia area, they negotiated with him. They negotiated with Dankremi. They negotiated with Kachala. I think Dankremi controls, I think, the Basari area, because I once visited the area. They negotiated with him. Then the other man controls Safana. They negotiated with him. Up to today, those areas in Katsina remain troubled by bandits. These boys, after negotiating, after accepting the terms of amnesty, went back to killing people. And the unfortunate thing is, you look at a state like Zamfara. At the time when Katsina negotiated with bandits, Zamfara didn't see any need to negotiate. So the bandits because those states are contiguous to one another, bandit leaders from Zamfara came to kill even those who agreed to amnesty. So you have more than 250 bandit groups in Nigeria's northwest and north central. How many are you going to negotiate with? How many? Yes. Yes.
So lucrative.
More than 250, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. How many of them are you going to negotiate with? You negotiate with some, you are unable to negotiate with others. Awalu Daudawa, who led the kidnap of those students of government science secondary school, Kankara, is dead now. After the kidnap of those boys, he agreed to give up banditry. He swore with the Holy Quran. People will remember those images of him swearing with the Holy Quran before government officials, Zamfara state government officials, because our friend Bello Muhammad Matawali also gave amnesty to them. People should not forget. Now he said, okay, I'm going to renounce banditry. But what did we see? He went back inside the forest after lying to government officials that he had a wedding. He went back into the forest. He would not give up cattle rustling. He was killed in the forest. You swore with the Quran. he must have thought that the Quran is just a book that he can toy with. And that's how many people behave. Your judgment may not come instantly, but it will certainly come.
To serve you.
Yes, it will certainly come. Because some of us believe in God. You swore with the Quran that you are going to give up banditry. You will never have anything to do with banditry again. In the full glare of people, they were taking pictures of you. You went back to it, only to meet your death in the hands of a rival bandit. So, just as the former governor of Kaduna said, the herdsman, the Fulani herdsman, who all his life have been taking his cattle from north to south and selling one cow for a maximum of 200,000. And you know, a cow can only have its offspring once a year because their own gestation period is like that of man, 9 months. Minimum of 9 months, and it's one calf that she will come up with, not 2, not 3. It's on rare occasions that a cow will give you 2. Yes, ask the people, ask the breeders, they will tell you this. 9 months. So you take care of a cattle 1 whole year, you can only get 1, and that one, when it becomes grown, you sell it at 200,000. Governor Nasir El-Rufai said, a man who had been used to that life in the night, in the rain, in the sun, he takes care of cattle and is able to sell one for only 200,000. He now goes into banditry and they pay him 100 million for a group of people that he kidnapped. He said, how do you get that person to give it up? He said, there's no need to negotiate, we just waste them. And I agree absolutely with him. Because we can't be negotiating with criminals. For what? These are criminals. If it was an ideology, for example, that they were propounding,
like terrorists.
If there was an ideology, you can say, give this thing up in exchange for this. But these ones are doing it purely for the money.
Economic reason.
Yes. 2G is not, this. That's why we said it's not terrorism. It's purely criminality.
Yes.
It's just the money that they're after. So
they don't believe in God too.
Which God?
That's why they can swear with Quran and dishonorable.
It does not. A lot of them are not Muslims. They are animists. A lot of these headsmen you see, they are animists. They are not. They don't believe in God. They do juju more than the ordinary person. I told you what one of them told my friend now in Katsina, that it is only cowards who believe in God. Allah. That's what he said. So that is a hint about the mindset.
That soul is soul.
Yes, Olofa.
Devil.
That's giving you a hint of the kind of mindset that they have. That because he's not afraid of death, that's what he's telling you, that only the cowards believe in God. Because you think that, okay, let me not offend God because I will have a date with him someday. They are not thinking like that. He thinks to think like that is to be cowardly. You understand? He thinks that to think like that is to be cowardly. So he told himself, because they were telling him, look, this thing that you are doing, you will account for it one day. He said only cowards believe in God. Such a cold-minded criminal, speaking in total disregard of the ruler of the universe. So those are the people that I want to negotiate with. If President Tinubu gets involved in this, he's wasting his time. No one should negotiate. The first person that came out, Ahmed Sani, the one they call Yerima, came, he said the same thing. The next thing Gumi is talking about, they should be ignored. Nobody should negotiate with bandits. It's a waste of time. They are not the kind of people that you negotiate with.
Do you think we should use the carrot and stick approach?
No, there's no need for carrots. I think we are long past that stage. The stick is even not big enough. I'm willing to give the president and the NSA 100 days from the day they started to give us a new security infrastructure architecture that one can work with. I've been saying this for a long time. Whatever we are doing now is not working. And because it's not working, we are not getting results. I expect Mr. Ribado and his team to come up with something that is peculiar to this challenge. Like we said on this program on numerous occasions, most countries that were under this kind of threats created response basically for that kind of threats. We are the only ones still using the old colonial structure of the army, of the police, to fight what is essentially a rebellion, a criminal rebellion. So I think I'm willing to give them a bit of a doubt because it's still early days yet. But if nothing is done by the end of August, when there is no plan in place to create either the equivalent of what the Americans call homeland security or the return or whatever else they want to call it, whether they're going to be an Ifia brigade, they're going to give them more helicopters, they're going to create more intelligence units. I don't really care. All I want is that it's obvious that I've been fighting this war, first with terrorists, then with bandits, for 2 decades now. And we're not getting the results that we require. Let's try something new. And we expect that this team and the president's set of service chiefs are going to do that for us. Because whether we like it or not, like Gide said, this is now a business. The same thing happening in the Niger Delta, if you remember. The moment they started doing kidnapping, the Europeans in the Niger Delta, the number went up. Because it's now, instead of you wasting your time going to the creeks to siphon fuel and get dirty, why not pick 2 or 3 oil workers and make your dollars? So we have to go to the root of the matter.
They've stopped that one now.
I know.
That's why they are saying the way it was done with Niger Delta. But the circumstances are different.
Are different, far different.
The people who stopped it, we gave them opportunities to study abroad. They set up the amnesty program. Some of them are today engineers, pilots, and the rest.
We'll see whether
are these ones kidnapping people? Are they prepared to go to school abroad? Do they want to go to school at all? So when people make these comparisons, they should actually take their time to reason. Because these comparisons are baseless. They are baseless. These are two, I mean, like they are poles apart. You can't compare the Niger Delta military.
That was for a cause.
It was for a cause, and that's why it has stopped
oil. You can't be taking crude oil from our environment.
Yes, and leaving our environment
nothing to get the return.
Destroyed.
What are these guys fighting for?
They are just fighting for them.
They are criminals.
Just pure criminals.
These are criminals.
The amnesty program not put an end to the those abductions.
Of course.
Even the criminal destruction of Nigerian oil terminals and all that also stopped. Because that one was politically motivated and they reached out to them, they stopped. These ones, if you reach out to them, they will not listen.
You are only wasting your time because they made up their mind that this is a business they're going to do till they die. I don't know whether it's the Israelis or the Americans who gave that quotation that is popular. That if somebody wants to die, it's the job to make the transition easier. And that's what we should be doing. These people don't really care about anything. So let's encourage them to go and meet whatever they believe in. As their maker. And like I said, what we've been doing for 20 years is not working. We must do something else. But negotiating is definitely not one of those options.
So no amnesty for these guys.
No, we don't.
Definitely not one of the options we have.
We don't want it.
It should be totally off the table.
You will see that in the end, we will regret it.
But if Boko Haram, if these deadly Boko Haram guys, if they are rehabilitating them, taking them from the forest, killers, taking them through rehabilitation, and most of them, they are feeding fat on the federal government of Nigeria now. That is even causing ripple in the northeast.
There's a different, again, this is a different example.
That's basically ideology.
Nobody is negotiating with the leaders of the Boko Haram. The leaders of the Boko Haram will not agree to sit with you. It is the people, a lot of the people that you see that were fighting on their side were actually conscripted. Grabbing young people. When Boko Haram gets into a community, they kidnap people. They take the women. They take the women into the forest. Those ones will be cooking for them. They turn the boys to their soldiers. It is easy for those ones to give up because they are indoctrinated. It's easy for those ones to say, look, I don't want to fight anymore. They are different. Did you hear that any of the Boko Haram leaders, people like Shekau, did Shekau agree to any negotiation.
Till he
They
died.
did not agree.
Ever.
So it's their foot soldiers who
denied
are
people that were
forcefully
even-
brought in to fight for them. Those ones regret their actions and they've rehabilitated them. So we are not, the Tuji tell you that he wants to be rehabilitated. They are not asking for that. He just wants to continue. Or Dogo Gide, can you even talk to Dogo Gide about rehabilitation when he's making 100 million in one operation? So this is the different examples.
All right. We'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more.
Home from work, in the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow! Just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light.
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
Thank you for staying with us. Less than 2 months after the swearing in of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has added another feather to his well-decorated cap. President Tinubu emerged as the new chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, at the 63rd Ordinary Session in Bissau, the capital of Guinea-Bissau, on Sunday. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated him, saying he's elated to hear the news that President Tinubu was elected chairman of ECOWAS. The former president said West Africans have entrusted him with an enormous responsibility, and it will be the task of the citizens to support him to succeed. GKB, Bola Tinubu, in less than 100 days in office, emerging as the president of the West Africa
Sub-region. I say congratulations to the president. This is a very heavy responsibility. Nigeria, of course, is the big brother in the West African sub-region. And a lot of things are riding on the kind of leadership that we can provide for the West African sub-region. I'm particularly impressed with the speech he gave about his zero tolerance for coups in the sub-region. That really got to me because, and he was not even speaking as a one-man show. He was telling them those that he would bring on board to ensure that henceforth democracy will remain the only form of government in the sub-region. Like I said, because initially a lot of people, if you remember during the campaign, a lot of these characters were they were emphatic on picking on the way he spoke and things that he said. But since he became president, it's clear that
I listened to that speech. Quite eloquent.
Very eloquent, very forceful. You can know that this is a man that's in charge.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that what our people used to say, that power is like agbada. Initially it will look ill-fitting, but after a while it fits you like a glove. I think the man is coming to his own as the president, and it's really showing the quality.
That aura, that presidential aura is...
Because you really have to have it.
The way he speaks
I've
now,
always-
eloquently, without prompt.
I always said, look, the privilege of adequate rest, you cannot discountenance it.
Yeah.
All of that time when he was overworking himself, going to this place, going to that place, doing 3 rallies in one day, it will affect anybody. How come they've not been able to point at any balablu?
Yes, all these bloggers, they've been looking for about the speeches.
No balablu anymore. No balablu.
That's ridiculous.
And you cannot say, look at him, he's trying to pick his biro. You are not going to see his hand shaking. Because if his hand was shaking, they would say all kinds of things.
That's his speech.
You know, so the man, and it's a good thing that, look, he is showing people the depth of his erudition, the depth of his brilliance.
I'm telling you.
The person from a rival party who said, I never knew this man was this brilliant. He knew what he was saying. The truth, the truth.
Let's just listen a little bit to his speech here. It was quite...
He doesn't have to read from a script. He's got it in his locker.
Just
commit myself to the principle and rule of law. We had a lengthy discussion this morning. Till now, we must be firm on democracy. Democracy being the best form of government. We sat here, we made some sacrifices for it. We made it to be an example to the rest of Africa and the world. What are we doing? Not only that. Without democracy, there is no governance, there is no freedom, there is no rule of law. We will not allow coup after coup in West Africa.
You know, without a prepared speech, looking around, there's no teleprompter left to right.
No. This is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor. They will write speech for him. He will speak extempo. That has always been his nature. He's coming back into his elements now. The potential that people saw in him and felt, look, this is a man who can do this job. He's showing it now. You can't compare the Asiwaju that they were mocking during the campaigns because he was overflogging his body. And will sometimes tell he says, no, I'm going. Let's go and do this campaign today. You can't compare him to the man who is president. As president, he doesn't have to work that hard. But in spite of that, he doesn't leave his office until like 8 p.m. every day before going home. So even the boys now who are covering the State House, they know that they have to do extra work. We see some of them do 3 packages in one day now about an individual. That's to tell you,
they have to catch up
the extent of work that he does.
And
he wake up early. He's been used to that. When Fashola said, look, you may see him looking languid, looking feeble, but underrate him at your own peril. Fashola knew what he was talking about. He worked with him for about 4.5 years.
Yes.
Closely.
Yes. So this is the thing. They have seen what some people saw that they didn't want to agree that he had in his locker. They are seeing it now. He doesn't have to use it.
Just want to wear that toga of
he speaks from his mind.
That the Baba is old and everything.
All of those songs, all of the sound bites that they were getting in those. Look at his hand. Is he shaking? Just look at his hand. Is he shaking? You know. So when you have the privilege of sufficient rest, even as an individual, you become fresh. You become fresher. So at the time of the campaign, he gave the campaign his all. He out-campaigned everybody. None of them, none of the presidential candidates went to bring in Buhari. He was the only one who went to bring in Buhari. You know? So today, I'm happy that he has his work cut out for him. And he's saying, look, we will prioritize political stability, peace, and security, and as well as regional economic integration, strengthening of the ECOWAS institution, because that's what ECOWAS is about. So hopefully his leadership will take ECOWAS to the next level. But it's remarkable that a man who has not even spent 60 days in office is already being given this kind of responsibility. He has not spent 60 days in office.
Condemned.
In fact, you will not believe that some people in the stock exchange were saying that there's nothing that he does that they will not agree to. Because he knew what is as
they know it means well.
That basically they said because they're not going to be tough. But the president has told them that this is what's going to happen. And so far it's happening exactly the way he said it will happen.
All right. The trouble on the plateau rages on, and we are running around as a country to find lasting resolution. Residents of some communities in Mangu local government area of Plateau States are the worst hit in fresh attacks by gunmen. According to reports, gunmen attacked 53 communities and killed 204 persons in Mangu local government area since April 2023. Following this latest attack, the state governor, Caleb Matwang, imposed a 24-hour curfew on Mangu to restore law and order. Let's share some updates on the security situation in the area with you.
12 people are so far confirmed to have lost their lives following Saturday's midnight attack in Sabangari community of Mangu Council area. This attack is coming barely 48 hours after a similar attack was launched in Kogol community where 5 people lost their lives.
Locals in Mangu town are not happy with the killings and destruction of properties being perpetrated in the area. They have blocked the main road leading to the town in protest over the Saturday's invasion. Some eyewitnesses of the event who narrowly escaped the attackers narrated the situation to us.
We have 12 people that were killed by the bandits. 6 houses were razed down, burned completely. 3 people were burnt in their house, on their bed.
In Mangu around 11:30, thereabout, they killed one of us, our boy. They killed him. And then the one in Sabongari Yilpo, we buried 12 corpses, people that they killed.
The commander of Operation Safe Haven, Major General Abdulsalam Abubakar, is faced with this situation barely 24 hours after taking the mantle of leadership of the Special Task Force. He has led the troops to the Mangu town in company of senior officers to see for himself the situation there. He announces the temporary relocation of the STF headquarters from Jos to Mangu, where he will be operating until normalcy returns. The STF commander promises to be firm, decisive, and fair in directing operations in the troubled area. The state governor, Caleb Mutfwan, has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Mangu local government area following the development. From Joshua, TVC News, Mangu.
The commander should not promise us to be firm and do all this after 204 persons have been recorded, dead from April this year. And I'm sure we underestimated this thing. This will be way ahead of this number. This is not the time for soundbites and promises. There's no how people will come and operate for hours and you can't apprehend, and we've not seen at least.
And in the same area, the same
Mangu local government in Plateau State.
No, something must give. They've been killing people for too long. And we just can't continue to watch our people being killed like animals. It's only in Nigeria that people get killed like this. I keep saying it. I've not seen anybody who will prove to me that there's any other country in the world where people get killed in the way they kill people.
Not even Ukraine.
Not even Syria. Ukraine is a conventional war that they're having in Ukraine. Syria, they don't kill people like this. Afghanistan, they don't kill people like this. Who is that person who will say I'm lying? Let them bring the facts. I've killed 204 persons in just a few months. Come on. If the president has he has given us new service chiefs. The service chiefs need to post the right generals.
Yes.
To these killing fields.
Yes.
And if those generals cannot bring about change, can cause the people to feel safe, then they should be sent packing. We must have a situation in which where you are given a job to do, you are police commissioner, you can't deliver, you lose your job.
Honestly.
Where you are given a job to do as a general in control of an area where there is insecurity, where you can't deliver success, you have to go. Let them try someone else. This is what we don't do. We don't need sound bites. We don't need anything. Get the job done. Get the job done. We can't be killing our people like this. Every day we'll just hear report they kill people in Mango again. Are they not human beings?
Don't be fair.
Are they not human beings? No, it's not to stop. It has reached a point that people don't even want to trust the security agencies
I'm
anymore.
telling you.
Because what's the point of having them if they can't secure our people?
The same place, they will go there, they will operate for hours.
Not only the same place, also the same time. They go around midnight. All the stories we've heard in the last 4 months, they strike the same pattern, the same time.
At midnight.
At midnight.
Midnight.
Every day.
People on their beds.
And I imagine that we have a new head of military intelligence. And whatever we need to do to DSS. This cannot go on. Because it means that we have a whole department or whatever they call them.
We just have to focus on the place, that's all.
Yeah,
All right.
So
So joining us for more discussion on the issue is the senator representing Plateau Central Senatorial District, Senator Dickett Plank. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you too for the opportunity. It's a great privilege that TVC is contributing a quota in bringing peace to my constituency.
thank you, Senator, and our commiseration for the loss of our people in Mangu over these past few months. Now we want to know what really is all this about. Why do we keep hearing stories of our people being killed like goats?
Well, Mangu local government historically has been one of the most peaceful local government councils or local government areas on the plateau. It is the third largest local government in Plateau State. It is also one of the most commercially oriented local government councils on the plateau, and is one local government that has a lot of well-educated personalities in the state. You know, the crisis on the plateau years back were more in the northern and southern. It started in the southern part of this of the state, and then the northern part of the state. Recently, it has shifted to the central part of the state, starting from Bokos local government area, Kudachia's boundary with Mangu. But the one that came to Mangu became much more hostile, much more sophisticated, and very destructive in nature. For every Mangu person, I am a senator representing that local government council. I am very certain that we're all worried, we're very unhappy, and our wish is that this should be brought to an end. You would say this act has been continuous and on the increasing part. Yeah, that's very true, and so sad to hear that. Despite all communal efforts done by the traditional rulers, development associations, stakeholders, the state government, I think it's very unfortunate. I was here too, listening to the discussions you were making. I sincerely wish to commend the effort of Mr. President, because the crisis in Mangu in particular came up within the period of its inauguration, and also our own inauguration as members of the National Assembly. And I had an opportunity in one of the moments of the formation of the National Assembly leadership to be with the President, and the President emphasized with great worries on what is happening in Mangu, and the time he had with the Executive Governor of Plateau State on that issue. And what the President demonstrated, I see a political will in him to make a change in the issue of crisis in Nigeria, despite the fact that the crisis not only on the plateau, but in Nigeria at a very large extent. I mean, this... what is the cause, Senator? What is the cause?
We have commercial break. Distinguished Senator, just hold on. After we pay these bills, we'll come back.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. Change your world. JRB Solar Inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Thank you for staying with us. We still have Senator DK Plan joining us from our Abuja studio. And Jide asked you a question earlier. Distinguished Senator, we are short of time. Jide?
My question is, what is the reason for this round of killings? Why are they killing our people in this manner? What is the cause? That's my question.
Thank you so much. For me, it's more of competition on limited natural resources. I think that is the beginning of the conflict. And as a human, as a people with different professions, the conflict comes around. Our people are more agrarian farmers, agronomists, practicing practical farming. And then we also have those that are into animal farming. And there is a conflict on limited resources. But to some extent, these are conflicts that could have been resolved within ourselves. But when you have conflicts within, and probably we cannot resolve it and bring in external persons, sometimes it becomes more elongated than thought.
So, what, as community leaders, what steps are you taking? Are you looking at resolving this through dialogue? What steps are you taking? Because these killings must stop.
Definitely. Well, I feel that the step to be taken for us to get back to where we used to be, because we used to stay together, both indigenous and citizens, harmoniously. There used to be a very symbiotic relationship where everybody benefits. There used to be a lot of trust, but with the competing limited natural resources and probably external approaches, trust is almost gone. I must actually commend the fact that our traditional ruler, you know the paramount traditional ruler of Mangu Local Government Council is a retired federal permanent secretary, someone who is civilized, well exposed. He did his best by bringing all the conflict factions together so that they will amicably settle. And then I do also know that.
You know them.
Hello, are you asking?
People coming to attack your community. Yeah, you know them.
I am telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. Initially, it's a conflict between a small community, people within a community. So all those that had a conflict were brought together, and I'm sure they had sufficient discussion. But you know, sometimes when something happens and the reprisal attacks begin to come in, it becomes very difficult for you to stop such. Because if I touch A and B are fighting, and the brother of A meets the brother of B and probably retaliate at different points, sometimes it becomes very difficult to nip it from the bud. But I know that there were sufficient efforts made by stakeholders, traditional rulers, community development associations, and government to see to it that it comes to an end. And you know, this thing came in just at the transitional period from Governor Lalong to Governor Mutfwang. And I'm sure Governor Mutfwang has not actually settled down. He has not, the formation of his government is still yet undone. And the capacity, he's not very stable to come in immediately, but there were sufficient efforts. So I'm sure that where the wish of the people is that that it should come to an end. And I know that's why those of us at the national level were leaving no stone unturned by way of trying to raise the issue up and inviting stakeholders, inviting government at the national level to come in, so that by the time you have different approaches and we're on the same page, on the same issue, I am very, very sure that there will be more possibility of a faster resolution. And I must also comment, because you are all aware that I had an opportunity, by the support of my colleagues at the National Assembly, the 10th Senate, I brought it as an urgent motion of public importance and was well attended to. We had a very great support from my brothers from both North and South, Senator Ndume from Borno, Senator Tambuwal from Sokoto, and several other senators within supported my motion. And if all of you were there, I know you knew, the Senate believed that if at all the 10th Senate can only achieve peace and security as an item, we will feel very fulfilled. And yeah.
And all be there.
We brought. Can I continue?
I would like you, distinguished Senator D.K. Plank. Thank you, representing Plateau Central Senatorial District. Thank you for your intervention. Julie, you don't have time.
Yeah,
DKB.
Run out of time. I'm sure we'll have it.
We have more time to, maybe on Sundays, for time to talk to him.
We'll have a time to talk to him.
He's a developing.
Does he want to get to the root of...
Yes. We just want to see an end to this nonsense, frankly.
It's so annoying now.
All our current affairs programs today dedicated to the plateau.
Yeah.
And it's
not looking good. 200 April to this time, 200 people.
Just under 3 months.
No. I would like you, OCRA.
It could be more than that.
Definitely. We don't know how to keep such records. OCRA, Ganika, Balogun, GKB.
Always
thank
a
you.
pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you. And BKO.
Thank you.
Prince. Babajide.
Aremo.
Simply Mr.
Okay.
Mr. Aremo.
I'll get used to that. Mr.
Aremo.
Yeah. Okay. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone. Your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow, the patented, ergonomically designed tapered leg pillow that naturally fits the contours of your legs, knees and thighs to help align your spine and alleviate pain. Watch, when you sleep on your side, your leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and lower back, putting pressure on your spine, hip and sciatic. But the Contour Legacy Pillow cushions your knees and cradles your legs, relieving stress on joints while restoring your lower back alignment. Sleeping on your side, your leg comes over and puts you out of alignment, causing lower back pain, hip pain, even knee pain. By using the Contour Legacy Pillow, it restores the natural alignment of the spine, helping to alleviate pain and pressure, leading to much more restful sleep. Old-fashioned leg pillows are bulky, but the anatomical design of the Legacy Pillow fits perfectly the shape of your body the way nature intended. You can even use two together for full leg alignment. Legacy Pillow is exclusively ventilated, so it always stays cool and dry. With top crescent design, it cuddles up to you perfectly and easily moves with you. Ordinary pillows go flat, but the Legacy Pillow is made up of soft memory foam, so it never loses its shape and the cover is machine washable. The Contour Legacy Pillow is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 500,000 naira for an orthopedic bed that doesn't properly support your spine. But call the number on your screen now and get 2 Legacy leg pillows for just 69,900 naira and get relief from back and hip issues. But wait! If you call now, we'll upgrade you to the Contour Better Sleep Collection. The collection comes with 2 Contour Legacy leg pillows and 2 Contour Cool Gel head pillows at no extra charge. The Contour Cool Gel head pillows' soothing orthopedic support will cradle your head and neck for full alignment, while keeping you cool all through the night for the best sleep of your life. Incredible! That's 2 Contour Legacy pillows and 2 Cool Gel head pillows for just 69,900 naira. And that's not all. Place your order now and we'll also deliver your Contour Better Sleep collection with no shipping charge. But hurry! This is an exclusive ShopX TV offer and only available for a limited period. So, call now while stock lasts. Your rest is your wealth.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Join me, Precious Amayo, as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour where the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello everyone, the count is on. It's now day 42 of Bola Tinubu's presidency and we are keeping tabs on activities and developments in his first 100 days in office. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Nifebi Oguntoye. You can join the conversation now on Twitter. Let's have your feedback on the first few weeks of the Bola Tinubu presidency. The question is, what's your assessment of President Tinubu's 1 month in office? Remember to use the hashtag first 100 days, tag at TVC News NG and at Nifemi Okuntoye, and we'll be taking your tweets later on the show. Now, President Tinubu has departed Guinea-Bissau, where he met heads of government at the 63rd ordinary session of the Authority of ECOWAS. He is expected back into the country today. The summit is the first international engagement of the president on the African continent since he was sworn in on the 29th of May. And guess what? He's returning to Nigeria as the chairman of ECOWAS. Shortly after emerging chair, President Tinubu says he's worried about military takeovers in the sub-region that truncate democratic governance. He called for collective action from member states, pledging that his leadership will push ECOWAS closer to achieving the goal set and fulfilling the dreams of its founding fathers.
We will work collectively to pursue inclusive economic integration of wealth, which result in warning to exploiters that our people have suffered enough. We should make a pledge here that in furtherance of our region's economic recovery and growth, we will commit to democracy and promote democracy and rule of law. I am with you. In Nigeria, we have.
All right, Nigeria, we're back. We're going to get back to the president's speech, his inaugural speech as chair of ECOWAS shortly. But let's turn our attention down to the presidential villa, where our State House correspondent Femi Akonde is standing by. Femi, let's explore some developments back